Hello, students. A very good morning to all of you. Once again, we all are here, and I welcome you in your e learning class. Dear students, yesterday we read about the feelings of love and hate. As per Nelson Mandela, he says, love comes more naturally to human heart, and this is the social evil that we are taught to hate others on the basis of their color, caste, creed, race, and many other grounds. He told man is a social animal and has come with social obligation to society. Nelson Mandela understood that there is a great importance of being social. Mandela talks about twin obligation. One I told you about his family and to his parents, his wife, children. This is the first and the most important obligation that every man has to fulfill in his life. And one more obligation he highlighted there, that is to his people, his society, community, and to his nation. And he also emphasizes that in a civil society, each one of us should fulfill these obligations as per our inclination, tendency, and abilities. And it is the responsibility of the government to provide an atmosphere where a person can fulfill these obligations. But what did he say? Let's continue the line. One line that remained incompleted yesterday. Let's begin it. We have to start from the line. Uh, in South Africa, a man of color who attempted to live as a human being was punished and isolated. In South Africa, a man who tried to fulfill his duty to his people was inevitably ripped from his family, had his people and home, and was forced to live a life apart, a twilight existence of secrecy and rebellion. Yesterday, I showed you two pictures in which we can see the half light, or you can say, here he has related this twilight with the character, with the mysterious life of those freedom fighters who engross himself in the freedom of their country, their black brothers and sisters. They had to sacrifice their own life, they had to sacrifice their own existence just to give freedom from the bondage of this deprivation, suffering, and poverty to their black brothers and sisters. He says in a country like South Africa, if somehow they want to fulfill their duties toward their people, then they were punished and sometimes they were even isolated. It means he wants to say the colored people were not allowed to live freely. Those colored people who dared to live freely meant they were considered as rebels. Such people either had to live a life in the dark forest hidings from the government, security forces, or they were imprisoned. They could be killed any time. Hence, their life was like a twilight existence of secrecy and rebellion. Hopefully, the lines are clear to you. Further, he says, I did not in the beginning choose to place my people above my family, but in attempting to serve my people, I found that I was prevented from fulfilling my obligations as a son, a brother, and father, and a husband. Here Nelson Mandela says, in the very beginning, I did not place my people above my family. It means at the very first, he gave more importance to his family, to himself, and his family members. But later on, he came to know and he placed his country, his people, his community above than their family members. But when he did this, he found that he was prevented, he was not allowed to fulfill his obligations as a son, as a brother, a father, and a husband. It means he did not he was not able to fulfill discharge his dual obligation. If he placed his community people, his black brothers and sisters over his family, then he was ripe from his family. Dear student, one more word left here that is important for you to note down, that is inevitably. Inevitably, it means something which is very important and which cannot be avoided. Or we can say something that is certain to happen. For example, we can say death is inevitable, which cannot be avoided. In our life, some things are there that are inevitable. It is life, it is death, it is pain, happiness, pleasure, sorrows. These things are inevitable. We cannot avoid them in our life. These are inevitable. Hopefully, the word is clear to you. In this way, we have completed this paragraph. Just read the paragraph once or twice to get its meaning, because in his these words he has deep meaning. He has tried to vent out his soul with the help of these words. Okay, students. Further, he says, I was not born with a hunger to be free. I was born free, free in every way that I could know. He says when he takes birth on this land in South Africa, when he was a child, when he was a boy, of course, he was quite unaware that his freedom has been taken away since his birth. He thought himself that I am free because he was child, and for a child, all the freedom were quite illusion for him. When he grown up, he came to know all my boyhood freedom were mere illusion for me. Actually, my freedom has been robbed from me when I took birth in this community, in this color, in this country. But when we are child, we have not so much understanding about all these conceptions that's happened with him. He says, I was not born with a hunger to be free. When I was born, I thought myself I'm free. He just indulged himself in playing here and there, in eating, writing, playing, swimming, and also on. He says, I was born free. He thought himself that I am free. And free, in what sense he thought himself free? That if he was able to free to run in the fields near my mother's hut. He says, I thought myself free because no one was there to restrict me to move in the fields which was near my house, and no one was there who can stop me to swim in the clean or clear stream or river that ran through my village. In his village there was a clean or clear stream or river, and he can swim in that river, in that stream. It means there was no one to stop him. He thought himself to be free, and he was free to roast mealies under the stars, and he was allowed to roast mealies under the shade of stars, and he was allowed to move to enjoy the ride on the broad backs of slow moving bulls. They are heavy in weight and slow moving. They move slowly because of their bulkiness, and he was free to enjoy his ride on their broad backs. That's why he thought himself as free, as there was no one to stop him, to restrict him, to resist him, to enjoy all these boyhood freedoms. That's why he says, I was born free. Further, he says, as long as I obeyed my father and abided by the customs of my tribe, I was not troubled by the laws of man or God. He says, when I was a child, when I was in my boyhood, I was not troubled about any restrictions. I enjoyed all the things which were given to a boy or a child, and undoubtedly it was clear to me, if I would abide the customs and rules of my clan or the group or our community, Since I will obey my father, then there is no trouble, there is no restriction which can snatch my freedom, liberation from me. He was least bothered about the laws framed by man or God on the basis of this color, caste, or creed.